Sorry I'm late. I fixed my hair and put on makeup and then printer quit working. And I printed stuff last night and I went to get it out of the printer and it wasn't there. So the questions are printing and I'm going to get them. Okay, everybody, I have questions now. I don't have anybody in here much, but we're getting here. Sorry I'm late. Probably you didn't hear what was going on, but I printed the questions last night. I started at 10 minutes till. 10 minutes till getting ready, fixing my hair, because I washed it this morning, because we played a mean game of cornhole last night and got all hot and sweaty and my hair was just like everywhere. So I had to wash it this morning, so I have blow dried my hair. Imagine that. And I have coffee. I am buzzing this morning, but guess what? My pages didn't print, but I got them printed now. Guess why I didn't print? Because I didn't have any paper in the cassette. And I couldn't figure out, why you're not printing? I went back to my computer and printed again and again. And finally, I looked in the cassette and it said, it's empty. Check the obvious thing. That's one of Gibbs's rules. Anyway, look, we got questions. I got it. You got questions. I got answers. Please share our videos. And I apologize for being late, but hey, I started 10 minutes early and then everything fell apart. But I am not going to be upset. I have a funny story to tell you. Yesterday, I got my new debit card. And, you know, you get one every 4 years or so, and you have to call the bank, and you have to do all that stuff. And it's a do-it-now principle kicks in. Well, I called the bank and entered all the numbers, and then you have to put in your security code. I looked at my security code on my debit card, and it was 666. And I don't know what to think about it. I'm trying to process that. It was 666. I told Justin about this morning. He said, Mom, I don't know. I don't know about that. And I said, well, maybe God's just wanting me to recognize every time to be more frugal with spending money. And he said, I don't know if I wouldn't get me a new card. So I'll see. Anyway, let's just keep going. You take your warnings where you can. So I've got some questions. We have almost 400 people in here. Let's get started. And I'm drinking coffee still. I got a second cup of coffee. So today is baby Ezra's second birthday. That is Esther's little boy. He was born weighing 2.2 pounds, 1 kilometer. He was born in China. He was 2 months premature, but today is his birthday and he's 2 years old. And I can't wait to hold that little fella. I've been praying for him for 2 years. People are telling me not to keep the card. I will read your comments. Yeah, that's a good idea. And they're going to laugh at me when I want a replacement card. Can you use vinegar and water to clean Can you use vinegar and water to clean with microfiber cloths? Yes, you can. And if you've ever used a fabric softener on your microfiber cloth, you can use vinegar to help get rid of that. But I just use them with plain water. Sometimes I use them with Windex antibacterial if I'm trying to kill a lot of germs. But these things have sort of a corduroy look to them, and they grab stuff like you wouldn't believe. If you've got a scratch on your car, take your purple rag out there, and we have had yellow scratches taken off of black cars like you wouldn't believe. We've gotten testimonials where it has made their car look brand new. How can you teach a kid that hates cleaning to clean? Kid number 3 fights it. Kid number 1 and 2 are rock stars. Well, kid number 3 is a rebel. He has to, if 1 and 2 like it, he's not going to like it because he is that third child. And that's what their job is. If you've never studied a birth order in families, you've got to study that so you understand your children. The first child is the hero child. The second child is sort of invisible. Patty will talk to you about that. She understands it. But they kind of go along with the flow. And then the third child is a rebellious. That's who they are. So let them. They may hate cleaning, but if you can make it fun for them. But here's the deal. You're probably bragging on the first 2 for doing a great job. And he can only get attention when he doesn't do a great job. Only get attention when he doesn't do a great job. So, make it fun and it'll get done. Maybe you need to work with him one-on-one. Maybe he's searching for attention and he may be overwhelmed. Esther doesn't know I'm doing the show. She keeps sending me messages. They're having a birthday party for Ezra. So, a child that rebels and rebels openly is searching for attention. So, come up with ways that you can help one-on-one. Maybe the other kids are out and about and, outside doing things, but you've got to give him the attention he's needing. Got it? Okay. Next question. I recently had to empty my mother's house after she died. I recently had to empty my mother's house. They are in my car and basement boxed up. This does not address all the pictures, papers, etc. that went to storage. How do I begin to start and finish this daunting project? Well, when my mother passed, she had to go into a nursing home because she had a really bad stroke. When we undid her house, I refused to let any of her things come into my house. And once they go into your storage unit, they're gone. They're gone. You don't know what can happen. The roof can blow off. You can get a hole in the roof and everything gets ruined. So once it goes into storage, it's no more. No more. Pictures and papers went into storage. They're going to mold, especially if you live in a place like I live. If you live in Florida where there's a lot of humidity, things are going to ruin unless you put them in Rubbermaid bins. And you've got to go get the things that mean something to you. And I only have one thing that my mother had in my house. One thing. And it was a little apothecary ceramic box. And that's the only thing I have. That's it. So how do you begin? Start with 6 inches. Just go through 6 inches. Get your paperwork organized and just do 1 box a day. 1 box a day and declutter as you go. Don't pile up. Either you have a place for it, you're going to give it away, or you're going to throw it away. Let it go. And if it's something you really don't know about letting go, take a picture of it and give it to another member of the family. But you got to take baby steps, because once it stays in, my mother's been dead for 20 years. It'll be 20 years in December. And I have never brought that stuff back in my house. I handled her estate without having to go through all those papers because I was in charge. Is there a toothpaste that doesn't leave a white residue? I swish and swipe, but wondering if I could put something in the sink to make it slide on down and not stick to the sink. Well, there is something called a glass wax, but you can also use a car wax, and it will help to bind the pores of the sink and let things slide down. So just go into the garage and get some car wax. Just borrow a little bit from your husband and go into the car and put it on a little paper towel and go into your bathroom sink and just wax your sink. Let it dry and then buff it and see if that helps. But if you're going to complain about toothpaste spatters in your sink, you're being a perfectionist. Now, I can help you eliminate some of those, but you have got to let go of your perfectionism and realize that every morning when you swish and swipe, it can go away. That's what swish and swipe is all about. And quit whining. Just quit whining. But waxing your kitchen sink does the same thing. It'll make it shine and make it beautiful, even if it's a black sink. People have complained, I can't make my sink shine. It's a black matte finish. Well, you put a little car wax on it, and it's going to look good. What are your tips and tricks for keeping the fridge clean and organized? Well, first off, you need a day to clean out your refrigerator. And for us, it's on Wednesday. It's always anti-procrastination day. You got that? Always anti-procrastination day. Clean out your refrigerator. And that means gathering up all the condiments that you have in there that have this much in a jar, putting them in your crock pot and throwing in some chicken thighs or chicken legs or chicken breast, and just cooking up surprise chicken. It's a great way to make a meal out of nothing, is surprise chicken. And then I have a shelf for everything. So my top shelf I keep my eggs on that are pending eggs. I have a door bin that I keep the using eggs in. And then a tea and milk and things go on the bottom shelf. Canned drinks go on the very bottom drawer. I do not use my drawers for vegetables. It just doesn't happen because it's a slime drawer. Men did not design refrigerators. I'm telling you. So I keep condiments and things in the drawers. I have a cheese drawer and I have a canned drink drawer or bottled water and stuff goes in a drawer. But I never use it for vegetables ever, or they get lost. For those, and then wipe down one shelf at a time. When you clean your refrigerator out, start with a sink full of hot soapy water, and then take your purple rag and that hot soapy water and wipe down one shelf at a time. And it keeps it clean and organized. Now, freezer, once a month I organize my freezer so I can find things. For those who had to throw out everything from the refrigerator and freezer after no electricity for days and weeks, how do we get rid of the smell? It is what everyone is asking that couldn't clean them fast enough because the dumpsters were so full. You know, a lot of times when you have a freezer and the electricity comes back on, just let it freeze all that crap. Let it freeze it all and then throw it out frozen. That gets rid of some of the smell. But if the smell is in the refrigerator, you have got to take baking soda. You've got to scrub it really well, and you may have to wipe things down with a bleach solution to kill some of the germs. But turn it back on and let it work. Once the electricity comes back on, if the electricity's not on yet, clean it out anyway. And leave the doors open without it being turned on. And then do a Google search on how to clean a refrigerator out. Once it's running again, I think the smell is going to go away. And if this is from people in Louisiana, my heart goes out to you. I mean, I listened to Senator Kennedy last night talking about it's the worst hurricane destruction he's ever seen in his lifetime, and he's a senator from Louisiana. It's bad. It came through as a Cat 4. It was almost a Cat 5, and it just knocked everything down. So they're still recovering down there, and they probably will for the next year. So my heart goes out to you. It really does. But do a Google search on how to get rid of that smell out of the refrigerator. If you can't, you may have to just say it's a lost cause and turn it in on your insurance, because it was caused by the storm. My eye is itching, probably because the hair's in it. I'm not used to hair in my face. Oh, I have to show you something. I got to Leanne's house last night for dinner, and I have my own chair at Leanne's house. In fact, they're bar stools that I gave her because I couldn't use them in here because I couldn't slide in my... I'd given her some from the office to use that were blue leather, and it didn't match anything in her house. And I got these gray microfiber bar stools, and I couldn't sit on the chair. I couldn't slide up on the chair. I had to put a garbage bag over it, and I finally just said, give me the old bar stools back. I'll give you my new gray ones, and it matched everything in our house. But I got to my chair last night, and we had a great dinner, and we had great games. We played heads up and cornhole, and the guys played chess, and it's like game night. But in my chair, she got me Pom Poms. So now I have Pom Poms. Isn't this fun? I have Pom Poms. Now I just need a cheerleading uniform. But anyway, I thought it was cute and I would show them to you. She's good like that. She listens to me. Next question. And if you do, I've had a freezer to go out. And I didn't know it went out. And I went down there to get something, and it had quit working. And I think a breaker had been thrown, and I didn't know it. Well, I flipped the breaker back on, and I froze everything back in there, which made it, the gag reflex was much better when it's all frozen, not soupy. And I can't handle it. And then I just bagged it all up and put it in the trash. But when the dumpsters are full, you just got to freeze it back when the power comes back on. It's just rough. Or you could take it outside and bury it. You could dig a hole and bury it in the dirt. Yeah, just like you would bury a dead animal, because it is a dead animal. Where do I start to organize daily routines for myself and my children? I feel overwhelmed trying to add preschool at home to an already chaotic, unorganized mess. Well, you have to stop right there. You have to stop. You have to build some simple routines for you to start your day. You need to get up and get dressed every morning, but your before bed routine is the most important routine of your day. So you start with your launch pad. Even if you don't have anybody leaving the house to go to school, you need a launch pad for your preschool stuff so you can get kicked off at 9 o'clock in the morning. That's some good coffee. So start with your launch pad the night before. Pick out your clothes the night before. Look at your calendar. See if you've got to be out of the house for anything, to run errands and that sort of thing. And build your launch pad and start your day at a specific time. Now, you need to get up. The problem I see is that you're not getting up before the flow of the family. You hear that? You got to get up before the flow of your family so that you can be dressed to lace up shoes before those little feet hit the floor. Because once those little feet hit the floor, you are putting out fires all day, but you are the director in your home. It's chaotic because you're not taking charge. You hear me? It's chaotic because you're not taking charge. So you get up and get dressed. You be in charge. Make sure the children's clothes are laid out for them so they can get up and get dressed. I have one family that had a rule. Unless you were dressed to your lace-up shoes, you couldn't eat breakfast until you were dressed to lace-up shoes. Get the whole family ready. Sit down at the breakfast table as a family. And then everybody clean up the breakfast table. And then you sit back down at the breakfast table and you start school. And it doesn't matter if you have a 5-year-old doing preschool or a 2-year-old in a high chair. Everybody is around the table. Because when you keep them all together and keep them focused on what needs to be done, you're in charge. You're the teacher. You are guiding your little army of children. And then you can take a break. You can read a story to them. You can pick up toys and put things away. But your before bed routine is the key to not waking up in chaos every morning. Because it has 3 parts. Think about tomorrow. So clear out your hot spots. Make sure your sink is clean and shiny before you go to bed. Then, think about tomorrow. How's it going to look when I get up in the morning? I want it to look good. So karate chop your little pillows on your couch. Fold up your blankets. Pick up all the toys or get your family to help you pick up the toys. Clear off your hot spots. Look at your calendar, and because if you're menu planning, you're going to know what's for dinner. You're going to know what's for dinner. So if you need to get something out of the freezer and put it in the refrigerator to thaw overnight, you're ready. Now, think about yourself. Take care of you. Brush your teeth. Floss your teeth. Wash your face. Moisturize. Put eye drops in. Take your nightly medications. This is all part of taking care of you. If you don't take care of you, who will? And then start turning off everything. Turn off your phone. Yeah, you can set your phone to not bother you in the middle of the night. I never take my phone to bed. It stays on a charger by my chair. And I can't hear my phone in our bedroom. Can't do it. So we have a home phone too. And if Justin needs to get a hold of me, he could call the home phone. But that's the only person that could call me. My sister could call me. She knows my home phone number. But you have to be in charge. You need to be dressed to lace up shoes. And why do shoes matter? Because shoes tell your head it's time to do something. Shoes on your feet don't give you excuse. When you have your shoes on, you don't have any excuses. For some reason, I'm just going to get rid of them then. So shoes tell your head it's time to do something. And you don't have to have excuses. No excuses. If you need to take the trash out, you take the trash out. Because you got your shoes on. With the weather changing, do you have any suggestions for rotating out clothes? Well, we're still going to have warm days. I've seen it so hot on Christmas Day that I needed short sleeves. So I would suggest getting rid of the super summery clothes. Not getting rid of, but washing them. And as you wash them, put them in a bin for you to keep for next year. For you, For your children. For your children, then I suggest rotating out clothes that don't fit because they grow so fast. Rotating the clothes out seasonally. So when we get September 22nd or whatever it is, the last first day of fall, then you start taking out some of the really, really summery things and putting them in a bin to donate or to save. I don't really like to save clothes for the next child in line because they're usually a different sex. You got start with the girl, next one's a boy, They're not going to wear the same clothes, and I'm not being sexist here. It's just how mothers are. And you just let it go. let them go and bless somebody else, but make sure they're clean. Make sure they're clean. So declutter a little at a time as you're doing laundry, because that's when you're folding them. And you know it doesn't fit them anymore. How long should I keep paid billing statements? Well, if you want to know the real answer to all this, it's according to if you have a business in your home. Yeah. 4 years is the good rule. Go look on Dave Ramsey's website. He tells you how long to keep everything. We don't keep anything. We don't deduct things for the business that are in our home. We used to when the servers were in the basement, but we don't anymore. We don't anymore because it's not going to take any more electricity for me to run, to charge my phone and charge my iPad and do all that stuff than it would anything else. So you just have to look at Dave Ramsey, and if you have a business in your home and you're deducting things for your business on your income taxes, you need to be careful, because it can be a huge red flag, and it can trigger an audit. So just be careful. I used to do income taxes. I knew this stuff. It's still the same way. But check out Dave Ramsey's website. He has some great tools for you for this whole thing. And I know we have a lot of new people here, and this next question is about who answers y'all's questions in the chat. I'm the fly lady. I'm the bossy one. My sister Dina sent me a cute little image yesterday that said, she said, do you know anybody like this? And it was all about me being bossy. Let me see if I can read that to you. It's funny. Let me find it here. Go to Messenger, Facebook. Well, I don't know how to get there. There we go. Oh, where's Dina? Dina and Jay. It says, I want every little girl who's told she's bossy to be told instead she has leadership skills. And that comes from Sheryl Sandberg. Yeah, she's the CEO at Facebook. So these are good things. I was always bossy. My granny told Robert when I was when we were getting married, she's bossy, don't you? So I take it as a badge of honor. So I have leadership skills, and my sister Patty has always been my right hand, and that's, when you see Patty on our chat, she's my sister. I'm 14 months older than she is. We've always been best friends, always. And then Liz was the daughter-in-law, and I've known Liz since she was in high school. Since before she ever even thought about babies, I have known Liz because she was my assistant, Michelle. She was Michelle's son's girlfriend. They went to the prom together. I mean, I've been through everything with Liz. And Liz went to work for us when Mikey was 6 months old. So Mikey's 7 now. So Liz has been with us a long time. She lives in Baltimore. I'd love to get her to move to North Carolina, but we'll see. One day, maybe she will. And Michelle is no longer my assistant. She went back to Baltimore. And I miss her every day, but I get to watch the babies grow up, and Liz is just part of our Fly Lady family. And we have Michael, who lives in South Carolina. He's our geek. He takes care of our website, keeps everything safe, keeps everything secure when you check out of the fly shop. Justin is my son. He is my he's my chief financial officer, and he packs your orders. And they just work really hard at the office. There's Kathy, who is our human resources and answers all your questions when it comes to when you send a question to orders@flylady.net. That you're contacting Kathy. Her husband, Jack, handles packing orders too, but he also makes sure your products get to us. He makes sure they get ordered. He makes sure they get shipped, and we have things in a timely fashion. So he is our procurement officer. And Rebecca, she's my left hand. There's the left hand. She's my left hand because she edits the website. She also packs orders. Everybody's got 2 jobs. She also packs orders. And she keeps the website looking good. She collects the missions and sends them to me. And it's one big happy family. They've all been with me a very long time. Kathy and I have the same birthday. So that's one of the reasons she got hired when she did, way back in 2002 or something like that. So they've all been with me forever. And we're just one big happy family. I don't think I've left anybody out. Yeah, so I love what we do. They help me to help you. Leanne is my best friend. Somebody's at my door. I don't know who it is. Well, y'all have a great day. I love you all. And don't forget about our sales. And Clean25 is the coupon code. And the Big Mop Pack is going away on Monday. Bye.